So the PC VR beta for the Vive Ultimate Trackers just came out a couple of days ago, and I've been following it really, really closely. So the question is, should you buy it or not?
上手ね。
Okay, first, here's the bad news. It's really buggy. I don't even know if you can call it a beta because one of the reasons that it's been failing for so many people is that it won't even run if your PC is not set to the American region. So I don't know what living in America has to do with full body tracking, but that is one of the big errors right now. Anyway, after you set up your PC's region to America, some people are saying that it took them over 4 hours or basically the entire afternoon to set up 3 little trackers. And I don't know if you guys ever set up trackers before, whether it's space station trackers or the gyroscope trackers like Slime or Haritora, but usually you just go up through the setup program and it's like 3 clicks. And later in the video, I'm going to walk you through the whole setup process of the Vive Ultimate Trackers, but for now, I want to talk about some other serious problems. So HTC specifically recommends a 3 meter by 3 meter open space to play in, and that's equal to 10 meters by 10 meters if you're an American and you're obese. And this is just my educated guess, but I think that not a lot of us have a 10-foot by 10-foot clear space to play VR in. I actually have one friend who does have that space, but he's like a single guy, he owns his own house, and he has like a spare room that he uses only for VR. But for the rest of us, we play in our bedroom and we have our chair, we have our desk, we have our bed, we have our squat rack, we have our chicken coop. So already at the beginning, I feel like over 90% of us are disqualified because we don't have a 3 meter by 3 meter clear open space to play in. My guess is that in reality, you don't actually need 10 feet by 10 feet space. You could probably live with 6 feet by 6 feet or 2 meters by 2 meters. But the problem there is that if you ask them for support of why your stuff is not working, and then you tell them that you don't have a 10 foot by 10 foot open space, they're just gonna not help you because you're not following the recommendations and they're gonna say KYS. So yeah, it's kind of an awkward situation. And also, even if your room is big enough, you cannot have bare walls. You have to have shit on your walls. Kind of like this world behind me. Because if it's a solid color, the cameras have trouble detecting movement. And my room definitely has solid colors on all sides, so if I decide to buy the Vive Ultimate Trackers, I need to stick up some posters. And to be honest, this isn't that big of a deal, but it is extra work that you don't have to do on other trackers. And yet another requirement for these trackers is that they tell you to make your room specifically bright enough that you can read a book. So I don't know about you guys, but I like to play VRChat in a dim room and specifically a pitch black room because it feels more comfy and immersive for me if I literally can't even see the outside world no matter how hard I try. But unlike all the other full body tracking solutions, the Vive Ultimate Trackers are a camera based system and they need a lot of light. So if you want to use your Vive Ultimate Trackers, you got to open the blinds, or if it's nighttime, you got to open your lamps. I mean turn on your lamps. And also you can't have full body tracking under a blanket like you can with slimes or Haritora. Okay, now let's talk about the setup process, which is messing up a lot of people. So first you take your tracker, and then you have to wave it around like an idiot. And then you need to kneel on the ground like a slave, and then scan the lower area of the room. And it looks like it makes a really, really detailed map of your room because look, the guy is moving the tracker up and down, and the arrows aren't even filling up. He has to wave it around so much to fill it up and move to the next step. So what that tells me is that it's making a super, super detailed map of your room. And not only that, but you have to do this in 4 directions, facing forward, backwards, left, and right. And then after scanning the lower part of your room in all 4 directions, you need to scan the upper part of your room in all 4 directions. So yeah, again, somewhere in China, a really high definition scan of your room is being uploaded. So ni hao. Anyway, when that's over, you just turn all your other trackers on, then you run everything through OpenVR Space Calibrator, and then blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm going to do an actual tutorial if I actually get these. But basically, a lot of people are failing these scans because either they don't have enough space or the software is really difficult and buggy, and scan won't complete correctly. To be honest, I've looked all over the internet, and I've even asked my friend who actually owns the Vive Ultimate Trackers about how the setup is, and I haven't heard one single good opinion about it. So yeah. But if everything goes smoothly, then these might be the best trackers on the market. So don't just take my word for it, let's watch some videos together and see how it works for other people. Okay, he's calibrating. Feet look good. Okay, looks like the IK is good. He's crouching and it looks like he's crouching even though he has no knee trackers. Oh, that's cool. The whole leg rotation looks good. Oh wow, he went on the ground really smoothly. So the thing about IMU or gyroscope trackers like Haritori and Slime is that they can only detect their own movement and their own speed and the angle of movement. So they don't actually know where the floor is. And that's why people who use Haritori and Slime, sometimes they look like they're floating in midair or their feet are jittering back and forth. But this system, which uses cameras and scanning, it looks like it can find the floor perfectly. So that is actually really impressive. And that puts it ahead of Slime and Haritora. And I guess it puts it at even with the Vive 3.0 and Tundra. Let's watch this one. Knee IK looks good. Now, what are you going to do, splits or something? Are you going to do the splits? Bro, those are not splits. You went down 2 inches. And you see here, it will not work properly unless you set Windows regional settings to the United States. Like I said. Hey, it's a furry child. I bet some of you guys are into this, right? Some of you guys are definitely into the furry children. Oh yeah, so as you see here, it says it was working on the Pico 4 without any problems. And what's interesting is that there is no option for the Pico 4. He actually told the software to recognize the Pico 4 as a Quest 2, and it looks like it just worked perfectly. So that's cool. All right. So if you guys don't know what these like weird like lines and spikes are, those are for like debugging. So this guy knows what he's doing. Oh, is he shuffling? Is he shuffling? A. Finally, we got some moves. I can do better though. No offense, Devkill. I can do better. Actually, I have this outfit. Let me switch. I have this outfit. Oh, cool. Yeah, see, he gets on the ground. This guy's really good. He knows like all the best positions and all the best ways to test it. It looks pretty good. Oh! It kind of bugged out a little. But honestly, even 3.0s might bug out. Oh, I think he has the tracker on the front of his waist, so when he's bending over and standing up, it's getting obstructed. So this is the same as a base station tracker. So you can't really blame him. It's bugging out. Ew. Okay, well that's fine. I think I can actually show you. Hold on. So the solution is that you put the tracker not on your waist, but you put it on your back so that when you bend over, it can still like see. It's not being covered by the folds of your body. Yeah. Anyway, looks pretty good. Oh, hey, this guy's using the Vive Ultimate Trackers to play the drums. What the? I mean, hey, look at it. It looks like it's tracking his feet correctly. He's pressing the kick pedal, I think it's called. It looks pretty accurate to me. I'm not gonna watch all this though. Like I'm not gonna watch you play the drums, bro. So yeah, this person mentions that it feels good to have your feet on the ground. And probably this person, they used to have Haritora or slime or something, and their feet were probably floating or jittering on the ground. But it looks like the Vive Ultimate Trackers have no problem with ground detection. Okay, so if you're wondering why the feet are flying around like that, it's because he's holding the foot tracker in his hand, and probably yeah, he's putting the foot tracker back into the slot on his foot, I guess. Okay, looks good. Okay, nice kicks. Wow, look at that spin. That looks good. Oh, a nice jump. Okay, so the jumping's not perfect. Jumping looks slightly worse than the Vive trackers. Or I mean, base station trackers. What the hell is that? What's going on? Is that like being is that what's going on? But yeah, it looks pretty good. No, that jump was good. Oh, I haven't told you this really important detail yet. So the way these work is not with just cameras, but also AI learning. So that means after you scan your room, every time you like play, it keeps on scanning your room and updating its information and knowledge about your room. So the more you use your Vive Ultimate Trackers, the better they get. But this is kind of like a double-edged sword because if you're playing in an environment that changes a lot, like maybe you play in the living room and your mom is always moving stuff around, then in that case, like that's going to hurt or slow down your Vive Ultimate Trackers learning because every time you boot up your trackers, the environment is changing and it can get really confused. But honestly, as someone who's used every type of full body tracking, including IMU trackers such as Haritora and base station trackers such as Tundra, and I even have experience using a treadmill for full body tracking, I think the Vive Ultimate Trackers, they perform pretty good. As long as you've got like a nice open space and you've got a bright room and you've got like stuff on your walls. But probably one of the biggest downsides of the Vive Ultimate Trackers is that a 3-pack set costs $600 or over 90,000 yen. So that means over $200 or over 30,000 yen for this little shitty puck. Like, I don't know, I find the price to be kind of crazy. Because, like, even though it's more expensive than the competition, it's still less accurate and it won't work in the dark like base station systems. And it won't work behind or under objects like the gyroscope systems. If you want to know more about Vive 3.0 and Tundra trackers, as well as Slime and Haritor trackers, then definitely watch this tier list video where I rank them and go really in depth about each one. I also literally just ordered the Vive Ultimate trackers while making this video because I've got like a big enough space in my living room to use them. So if you want to see my review for that in the future, then you have to like and comment and subscribe. See you guys next week.